Hello, thank you so much for joining me here on Super Pants Gaming. Today we're talking a little bit about Xbox. So as I'm sure a lot of you know, I absolutely love the Xbox 360 and I've been doing a thing called Mission 360 where I've been collecting a decently curated set of Xbox 360 games, but that is actually going to be coming to its end. So I thought right now I'd just sort of take you through my sort of Xbox history and sort of explain to you sort of what I'm sort of looking at next. So, to be totally honest, I'm not nostalgic at all for the original Xbox because I was firmly sort of in the PlayStation 2 camp at the time, sort of thing. And I kind of have been since. I do have some original Xbox games, but for the most part, I'm not really that interested in collecting the original Xbox. So, from the PlayStation 2, I sort of had an on and off relationship with that, to be honest, and it was when the Xbox 360 came out that I completely sort of fell in love with it, and hence Mission 360. And I used to play a lot of games online. We had quite sort of a big group of people sort of together that we'd all sort of play, and it'd just be absolutely awesome. So after the 360, the Xbox One came along, and it felt like the right thing to do, sort of the natural progression in a way, to go from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One. And I was lucky enough to be there day one. I actually went to a midnight launch to get the Xbox One, which was awesome. I mean, this isn't day one, this is like hour one sort of thing. And I know these were sold like for ages afterwards as well, but it's just a cool thing that sort of reminds me of sort of queuing up at game and spending more money than I'm going to say, because I don't want the sensible adult to be like, you spent how much? But yes, and I never really loved the Xbox One, if I'm totally honest. I played on it, but it kind of divided the group of people that we sort of had together playing. Some of the people came onto Xbox One a little while after, and some of them sort of jumped across to PS4, and it just sort of divided our group as such, and it was never really the same again playing online, which was massively unfortunate in a way, I guess is probably the word. So from there, I sort of jumped ship as well to the PlayStation 4. I absolutely love the PlayStation 4. I have a modest collection of PlayStation 4 games. Sorry, I'm looking over there, so that's where they are. And I think it's a decent collection, but it's not massive, you know what I mean. But I don't really have very much for the Xbox One at all. Most of the games I got rid of, and a lot of the games I've got on the Xbox One were sort of digital games and stuff. So moving on from the Xbox One and the PS4 and stuff, I had pre-orders for the PS5, and I had one that was accepted, and I was going to get a PlayStation 5 on day of launch. However, like an absolute fool, to be totally honest, I cancelled it and decided to go for an Xbox Series S, which is what I've still got to this day, and I don't really play that much, to be honest. My thinking in that was basically it's an online machine because everything seems like it's going online and digital and stuff, and I could just sort of use it for Game Pass and stuff like that. And to be totally honest, as a machine to play Game Pass on, it's brilliant. It does exactly what I was hoping it would do, but I don't tend to play it very much. And should I have got a PS5? I don't know. But what I was basically sort of getting at is, recently I've actually picked up a couple of Xbox One games. There's me saying I don't really collect Xbox One, but recently I picked up Sunset Overdrive, which is a game that I used to absolutely love and I want to play. I don't know what happened to my original copy, as I've already said, but I'm mad pleased to have that back in the collection. That's one of the very, very few Xbox One games that I totally, absolutely adore. So yes, and then the other day I went to a local-ish CEX, and I got there. I had a little look online of sort of what games they had, and there were about 5 or 6 games that I was after, mainly PlayStation, to be honest. There was one Mission 360 game which I didn't end up picking up, unfortunately, because we're still trying to finish that off. However, with all the games basically being sandpit games, which are basically games that have been played with in a sandpit by children, the only thing that I managed to pick up that day, sensible adult said, "Oh, you've got to get some things, otherwise it's almost sort of felt like a waste of a day." I picked up, I know this is a common game, Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, which is a game that I've played. I think I may own this digitally, to be honest, but it's a nice steelbook and it's in lovely condition, and it was only £2 again. So there's me considering what I'm going to collect next. And to be honest, the Xbox One is really quite cheap at the moment, I think. So basically, in picking up the two Xbox One games, that sort of led to a conversation with my sensible adult, and another friend sort of suggested to me that the next logical step after I finish Mission 360 would be to start collecting for the Xbox One. Now, my issue with that is I don't think my heart's in it, because yes, I had the Xbox One day one, and it's got a decent memory for that. I love sort of midnight launches and that sort of thing. However, I'm not really nostalgic for it. In a way, it was sort of it was a console that I never really gelled with. So I don't know if I really want to sort of hardcore collect Xbox One. If I make a great big list of games that I'm looking for on the Xbox One, I don't know if I'm just going to burn out on it, and I don't know if I'm just buying stuff that I'm probably not really going to want in the future. So I think I'm probably going to say that we won't be going Xbox One next. And the same with the original Xbox. Having collected the PS2 quite extensively in the past, a lot of the games of the 6th generation are sort of cross-platform. And yes, there are a few decent exclusives on the original Xbox, but I do actually own like the majority of what I want for it. So I don't think there's really enough library there for me to go at. So that kind of leaves, in my mind at least, looking elsewhere. So do I go for the Nintendo Wii? That's a possibility, because I think at the moment a lot of the games on that are absolutely dirt cheap and they're quite easy to find. So that might be a sort of decent console to look at. Alternatively, I don't really want to go. I'm not going to go original PlayStation, and I don't want to go PS2 because I've already sort of done PS2. Although, albeit I am still picking the odd game up. So yeah. So I think I'm probably looking PS3 or PS4 or the Wii. And I don't know if there's enough on those consoles that I'm going to want to make a list and really go for it. I have actually been picking up some PS4 games that I've sort of got a bit of nostalgia for. I do love the PlayStation consoles, so I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure on what I'm going to go to next, but let me know down below in the comments what do you think I should be considering after Mission 360 is complete, basically. So I dare say there'll be a little bit of a tidy up and maybe half a dozen games that I still need to grab for it after it's done, but what do you guys reckon that I should be considering? So do you think the Wii, the PS3 or the PS4 are decent suggestions, or is there something that I've completely missed? Should I go gung-ho and, I don't know, collect Dreamcast or something? Probably not, is my honest opinion, but yes. So anyway, waffle over. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe and do all that awesome stuff. You know it really helps, and all that sort of malarkey. So yes, thank you so much. I've been Soup. As always, you're awesome, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.